or losing sleep trying to figure him out. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, confusion is not love. If you're confused, that man is not being clear, and a man who wants you makes things clear. That's just how it works. Consistency is one of the clearest and most powerful signs that a man is truly serious about you, yet it is often the most overlooked because people tend to get distracted by grand gestures or sweet words. The truth is, consistency is not loud, it's not flashy, and it doesn't try to impress you in one big moment. Instead, it shows up quietly, day after day, in the small things that many people take for granted. A man who is consistent doesn't leave you guessing where you stand with him. You don't have to analyze his texts, question his intentions, or wonder why he disappears and then suddenly reappears with excuses. His presence in your life feels steady, not unpredictable, and that stability creates a sense of trust that cannot be faked. When a man is consistent, he doesn't just show up when it's convenient for him or when he feels like it. He makes an effort even on the days when he is tired, busy, or dealing with his own problems. That's because consistency is not about perfection, it's about intention. It's about choosing you over and over again, even when life gets complicated. Anybody can be there for a moment, especially in the beginning when everything feels exciting and new. But consistency is proven over time. When the excitement settles and real life begins, that's when a man's true character reveals itself. You will notice that a consistent man communicates regularly, not just when he needs something or when he is bored. He checks on you because he genuinely cares, not because he feels obligated. He keeps his promises, even the small ones, because he understands that trust is built through reliability. If he says he will call, he calls. If he says he will see you, he makes it happen. And if something unavoidable comes up, he doesn't disappear or make excuses. He communicates openly and respects your time and feelings. Consistency also shows in how he treats you emotionally. His behavior doesn't shift depending on his mood or circumstances. He doesn't go from warm to cold, from attentive to distant, leaving you confused and emotionally drained. Instead, he remains grounded in how he treats you, offering the same level of care, respect, and attention regardless of what is happening around him. That emotional stability is what allows a relationship to feel safe and secure. A lot of people confuse intensity with sincerity, but they are not the same. Intensity can fade as quickly as it appears, but consistency builds something real and lasting. When a man is consistent, he is showing you that he is dependable, that he values you, and that he is willing to invest in something meaningful. And that kind of effort, repeated over time, is what separates someone who is just passing through your life from someone who is truly there to stay. When a man's actions truly match his words, it creates a level of clarity and security that many people spend years searching for. Anyone can say the right things at the right time. Words are easy, and in the beginning, especially, they can sound convincing, even perfect. But real intention is never proven by what a man says. It is revealed by what he consistently does. When his actions align with his promises, You don't have to question his sincerity because he is showing you, not just telling you. A man who means what he says understands that words carry weight. He doesn't make promises lightly, and he doesn't say things just to impress you in the moment. If he tells you he cares, you will feel that care in the way he treats you daily. If he says he misses you, he will make an effort to see you, not just leave it as empty words. There is a natural flow between what comes out of his mouth and what he follows through with, and that alignment is what builds trust over time. You'll start to notice that with a man like this, you don't feel the need to double check everything. You're not going back to old messages trying to figure out what he really meant. You're not sitting there wondering if he was being genuine or just saying what you wanted to hear. His behavior answers those questions for you without you even having to ask. That kind of transparency is rare, but it is powerful because it removes the anxiety that often comes with uncertainty. When actions and words don't match, it creates confusion, and confusion is one of the biggest signs that something is not right. A man might tell you he values you, but if he constantly cancels plans, ignores your calls, or only shows up when it suits him, his actions are telling a completely different story. And no matter how sweet his words may sound, it is his actions that reveal the truth. This is why it is so important to pay attention to patterns, not just moments. A man whose actions match his words is also someone who respects you. He understands that your time, your emotions, and your trust are important. He doesn't play with them or take them for granted. Instead, he makes a conscious effort to be honest and reliable because he knows that consistency between words and actions is what creates a strong foundation. Over time, this alignment builds a deep sense of trust and emotional safety. You begin to relax in the relationship because you are no longer bracing yourself for disappointment. You know that what he says has meaning and that he will stand behind it. And in a world where words are often used carelessly, a man who lives by what he says is someone who stands out in the most meaningful way. When a man truly cares about you, one of the most powerful signs is how he handles your feelings, especially in moments where he could easily choose not to. Protecting your feelings is not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about being aware that your heart matters and choosing to treat it with care. A man who values you does not move through the relationship carelessly. He understands that his words, his tone, and his actions have an impact, and he becomes intentional about not causing unnecessary pain. You'll notice that he thinks before he speaks, not because he is afraid of you, but because he respects you. There is a difference. He doesn't lash out in anger just to win an argument, and he doesn't use your vulnerabilities against you. When he knows something is sensitive to you, he avoids turning it into a weapon. That level of emotional awareness shows maturity because it means he is not only focused on how he feels, but also on how his behavior affects you. A man who protects your feelings also listens, not just to respond, but to understand. When you express yourself, he doesn't dismiss you or make you feel like you're overreacting. Instead, he pays attention. Even if he doesn't fully agree at first, he values your perspective because he values you. That willingness to listen creates a safe emotional space where you feel heard, and that kind of safety is essential for any relationship to grow. Another important part of protecting your feelings is honesty, but delivered with care. A real man does not lie to avoid discomfort, but he also does not use truth as an excuse to be harsh or insensitive. He knows how to communicate in a way that is both real and respectful. Even in difficult conversations, he remains mindful of your emotions, choosing words that are constructive rather than damaging. That balance is not easy, but it shows that he is committed to building something healthy, not just expressing himself without responsibility. You will also see it in the way he handles conflict. Instead of walking away, shutting down, or creating distance, he tries to resolve issues in a way that strengthens the connection. He does not ignore problems or leave you feeling alone in them. He stays present, works through the discomfort, and makes sure that the outcome does not leave emotional scars that could have been avoided. Protecting your feelings also means consistency in emotional behavior. He does not become distant or cold without explanation, leaving you to question what you did wrong. His emotional presence remains steady, giving you a sense of reassurance that you are not walking on eggshells. That stability allows you to be yourself without fear. When a man treats your heart like it matters, it changes everything. It builds trust, deepens connection, and creates a bond that feels safe rather than fragile. And in a world where many people act without thinking about the emotional consequences, a man who protects your feelings is showing you that you are not just someone in his life. You are someone he genuinely values. When a man truly values you, one of the clearest signs is that he makes time for you, not excuses. In today's world, everyone is busy. People have responsibilities, work, stress, and personal challenges. But the truth is simple. We all make time for what matters to us. When a man consistently chooses to include you in his life, despite everything else going on, it speaks louder than anything he could ever say. Effort is a decision, not a convenience. A man who is serious about you does not leave you waiting around, wondering when you will hear from him again, or trying to fit yourself into the gaps of his schedule. Instead, he creates space for you. He plans ahead, he checks in, and he makes sure that you feel like a priority rather than an afterthought. Even if his schedule is full, he finds moments, even small ones, to connect with you because your presence matters to him. You will notice that he doesn't disappear for long periods and then come back with explanations that leave you feeling confused. He understands that consistency in communication is important, so he keeps that connection alive. It doesn't always have to be long conversations or grand gestures. Sometimes it's a simple message, a quick call, or a thoughtful check. And what matters is that he stays present in your life even during busy times. Making time is also about intention. It's not just about being physically available, but emotionally available as well. When he is with you, he is actually with you. He is not distracted, not constantly on his phone, and not mentally somewhere else. He gives you his attention, listens to you, and engages with you in a way that makes you feel valued. That kind of presence shows that he is not just passing time, he is investing in the relationship. A man who makes time for you also respects your time. He does not cancel plans at the last minute without a valid reason, and he does not keep you waiting or unsure. If something unexpected comes up, he communicates clearly and honestly. He understands that your time is just as important as his, and he treats it with the same level of respect. That mutual respect creates balance and prevents resentment from building. You will also see it in the effort he puts into seeing you. He doesn't wait for everything to be perfect or convenient. He makes the effort to show up, even if it requires adjusting his schedule or going out of his way. That willingness to prioritize you shows that you are not just an option in his life, you are someone he truly wants to be with. Over time, this consistent effort builds a strong foundation. You begin to feel secure because you know you are not chasing his attention or competing for his time. You are already included in his world, and that feeling of being chosen, not occasionally, but regularly, is what makes a connection feel real and lasting. Respect is one of the strongest foundations of any meaningful connection, and you truly begin to see its depth when disagreements happen. It's easy for someone to be kind, attentive, and affectionate when everything is going smoothly, when there is no tension, no conflict, and no difference of opinion. But the real test of character is how a man treats you when he does not agree with you, when emotions are involved, and when things are not perfectly aligned. That is where genuine respect either shows up clearly or disappears completely. A man who respects you does not try to silence you just because your perspective is different from his. He does not interrupt you, talk over you, or dismiss your thoughts as unimportant. Instead, he listens with patience, even when he feels strongly about his own point of view. That willingness to listen shows that he values you as a person, not just when you agree with him, but at all times. It creates an environment where you feel safe expressing yourself without fear of being judged or shut down. Respect during disagreement also means he does not resort to insults, sarcasm, or hurtful language just to prove a point. He understands that winning an argument at the cost of hurting you is not a real victory. Instead of trying to dominate the conversation, he focuses on understanding and resolving the issue. He communicates in a way that is calm and controlled, even if the situation is emotional. That level of self-control reflects maturity and emotional intelligence, qualities that are essential for a healthy and lasting relationship. Another important aspect is that he takes responsibility for his actions. If he realizes he is wrong, he does not let his ego stand in the way of admitting it. He apologizes sincerely and makes an effort to correct his behavior. This shows that he values the relationship more than his pride. At the same time, he does not expect perfection from you either. He allows space for mistakes and growth, understanding that both people are learning and evolving together. You will also notice that a respectful man does not bring up past issues just to win a current argument. He stays focused on the present situation instead of dragging in old conflicts that have already been addressed. This prevents unnecessary hurt and keeps the conversation productive rather than destructive. It shows that he is interested in solving problems, not creating more of them. Even in moments of frustration, he maintains a certain level of care in how he treats you. He does not withdraw affection as a form of punishment, and he does not create emotional distance to make you feel insecure. Instead, he remains steady, working through the disagreement without making you feel like the connection itself is at risk. When a man respects you in disagreement, it builds a deeper level of trust. You begin to understand that the relationship is not fragile, that it can handle differences without falling apart. And that kind of stability allows both people to grow individually while staying connected in a healthy and meaningful way. Peace is one of the most powerful yet underrated signs that a man is right for you, because it is not something that can be forced, faked, or created through words alone. It is something you feel deep inside, often without even realizing it at first. When a man brings peace into your life, your mind is no longer constantly racing with questions, doubts, and fears. Instead of overthinking every message,